Hey, it's Sean with Sean's DIY and Reviews, and today I'm changing the air filters for my Nissan Frontier. So let's go and show you how to do these cabin air filters. All right, so Nissan's one of the only companies, I think, maybe tell me if yours does, that has two filters in one spot. Everybody else has just one filter. So I've seen it on a few Nissans, and of course I'm using the Stone Temple Pilots brand. And basically you open up your glove compartment, and when you do that, most cars you're gonna have this little just like kind of push on each side. There's a few cars that actually have like where this screws in and you have to unscrew it, which is a pain. Our Nissan NV had that, but basically otherwise you just kind of push these little tabs on each side and drop this down all the way. All right, so once I push both sides in hard enough, the whole thing will come down all the way. This one has a little string here, I guess, which kind of holds it in place, which is interesting. All right, so once you take this down, like most cars, you're gonna have this area behind the glove compartment where the air flows. And so for the Nissan, you're gonna see the filter over on this side. Many cars, you're gonna see it right in the middle or, right in this area. But for this Nissan, it's over here on this side. And so I'm gonna go over here and just pull on this little tab here. All right, unfortunately for me, there was no filter inside of there. So I bought this car used, and that's the downside of anything you buy used. There is no filter in there, and I'm highly disappointed at that. But that's the spot where it would be, right over here. And these tabs that are on here are not very strong, and so that's why they had actually zip tied this on here, which means someone was in here and they just did not put a filter in for some crazy reason that I don't know. They're not that expensive. So let's go over here to our package. I have two. You only need one package, but I have two simply because of the fact that I had another Nissan vehicle. When you open these up, there's two separate filters, one this size and then another one the same. So when you look at these filters, there is a direction, right? So it's showing airflow this way, and so you have to then make sure that the airflow direction is the direction that that the air actually flows in the vehicle. So there we go. I have my two airflow. We're showing upwards. Same thing there. So I'll put those there, and then I'll determine which direction the airflow needs to be at the box. All right, so the direction of the air filter is actually down. So we want our arrows there facing downward. And then I'm gonna have to put the first filter in and then push it all the way over to the right side. So I'll show you that really quick here in a second. So I started putting the filter in a little bit. You might have to shimmy it in there and then push it all the way in. And now you would think that's it, but it is not. You're gonna have to then take this filter and then push it all the way in here, right? And then slide it over all the way that way to get it out of the way so that the second filter can fit in. And so this is a little bit of finagling here, but if you do it right, push it in the right way, it'll clear here and then move all the way over to the other side. So give me a few seconds to kind of play with this and get that near where it needs to be. It was a little bit of a pain. You had to kind of push it in the front and then clear the front of the box. And then once you do that, you just push it all the way over and in. Make sure you got it all the way in there, and that looks good. And I'll take my other one, make sure also that the airflow is facing downwards, as you can see right there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in as well. This one's a little bit easier because you don't have to contend with pushing it to the side. So I'll just push this in. I have a wiring harness that's a little bit in the way, trying to do this with one hand. So just kind of push that in, get my little wiring harness out of the way. And with two hands, it's easier, but give me 2 seconds, I'll show you that. All right, so then it's kind of a tight fit, and sorry that I couldn't actually record doing this, but essentially I have a wiring harness that's in the way, but push it over and just kind of keep pushing it in. And then you'll see that, you'll eventually get that in, and then you take your cover and put your cover back in. My understanding is that the older versions had a little screw over here. Sorry, I can't really see it. A screw where my zip tie is right here, and the newer versions have a clip. My clip is broken, and I think that's why they zip tied this on. But basically, yours probably doesn't have that problem, and just go ahead and put your cover back on the front, and that's about it. Then you just come here, and you're gonna push the little tabs back in, push your glove compartment closed, and you're off to the races. Hopefully this was helpful. Give a thumbs up if it is, and we'll see you in the next video.